Welcome to Popcorn Chat. I'm Kurt Jarvis. The two movies I will be reviewing for you this week are John Carter and Friends with Kids. Let's start with John Carter, starring Taylor Kitsch and Lynn Collins. I believe that's how you say that man's name. I apologize if I didn't get that right. John Carter is a good movie, and that's about as far as it goes. It's just good. It's not great. It's sort of an early entry for the big blockbuster movies of the summer. And we have these big action-type movies. My problem is not really a bad problem. It's just something that was interesting. It basically took the entire movie to set up the premise of the movie. And once you do that, you're like, okay, I like the premise of the movie, but now I'm ready to see a movie based on this premise. So it kind of left me a little flat in that sense. The things I liked about John Carter were, it looks great. I think for a science fantasy or a science fiction type of movie, it's got everything that you want in it. It's got these big aliens, it's got these big monsters, it's got some, interesting fight scenes, and some battle scenes. Those are things you like when you want to go see a good science fiction movie. So it doesn't disappoint in that area. It's even got some good humor. There was a running joke in the movie where the character, they asked John Carter where he's from, and he says Virginia, because he's from the state of Virginia. Well, he doesn't know he's on Mars. So they think his name is Virginia. They keep calling him Virginia, which is just kind of silly and funny. But there's also a lot of, kind of jokes that didn't work. There's a lot of dialogue that didn't work. There really wasn't any tension, which is what I was trying to feel. I was trying to get settled down, and I want to really root for this guy. I want to feel something for this guy, and I want to be in his corner. And I didn't really get that. I didn't even get to the point, and I think probably because they kind of made him autonomous, then that, well, he doesn't choose sides. Well, okay, now that he doesn't choose sides, why should I care who wins? So that kind of got lost a little bit. I did like the flow of the film. He kind of goes back in time, back to the late 1800s, early 1900s, and then he gets transported into the here and now, into Mars. That transitioned very nicely. I didn't have to confuse anything. The dialogue was nice. The characterization was nice. The development was good. I kept saying after I got out of this movie, I hope they make a sequel now that we know the premise. Now I'm ready to see a good sequel based on this. That's kind of where I'm at with this. Like I said, it was a good effort, not a great effort, but it was okay. I mean, if you like big, science fiction-y type of movies, you're not going to be disappointed. You'll like this one. So that's my recommendation on John Carter. Let's move on to a movie I am really excited about called Friends with Kids. This movie is written, directed, and starred in by Jennifer Westfeldt. And you've never heard of her? Well, the only other thing that she did that was prominent was she was in a movie called Kissing Jessica Stein, and she played Jessica Stein. She also wrote that movie as well. This is her first directing debut in a movie, and I have to say I'm very impressed. I really like the way that she directs. She really lets the actors get into their characters, and she lets them kind of take over in a lot of scenes. I'm a fan of that. If you have good actors working with you, let them take over and let them create moments for you instead of trying to force it with the script or trying to force it with a direction. She did a great job at doing that. This movie stars, like I said, Jennifer Westfeldt is the main character, and the other main character is Adam Scott, who I've been waiting for to get a leading role. So I am excited that he's in this movie, and I'm excited that he did a really good job in this movie. Adam Scott's career started in commercials. I think his biggest role actually was in The Aviator alongside Leonardo DiCaprio. He played his press agent, and that was the biggest role he's gotten to date. And I keep thinking, this guy needs to give him a role. I really like the way this guy acts, and he did not disappoint me in this. The premise of this is that you have two friends who are best friends. Jennifer Westfeldt and Adam Scott play best friends, and both of them are getting in their mid-30s, and they're not in committed relationships, and they decide they want to have a kid. They both always wanted to have a child, so they decided, all right, let's get together, let's have a child and co-raise it, because they live in the same apartment building in New York, and let's co-raise it and stay friends. And it works out beautifully. And I think that's the coolest thing about this movie is that both of them are fantastic parents, and both of them juggle their single life. And the advantage of having that, of friends with kids, is that you can say, okay, well, it's your night, so now I know I can plan my life, my single life around this. And they kind of have romantic interest moving in and out. It was a really great premise. The supporting cast on this is actually interesting because they're using the supporting cast to put on the box and all the marketing so people will go see it. And it's because the supporting cast is, you have John Hamm, you have Kristen Wiig, you have Maya Rudolph, and you have Chris O'Dowd. Three of those actually were in The Bridesmaids, so since that became a hot movie, they're advertising those three characters. And the supporting cast is phenomenal. What I really dug about this, and what you may not like about it, is there's a lot of sarcasm, there's a lot of wit, there's a lot of times, and if you think about it, when you're with your friends and you're in a friend-adult setting, there's always that one or two people that say the inappropriate things. There's a lot of that, and it rang true to me because, well, I am that guy, and usually in my circles, but they'll just look at you like, really, you said that? And there's a lot of that going on when they're together, but the scenes are funny. And they're all really good parents. They're not always all in really good relationships. So you start counterbalancing. You have these two people who took this really sort of progressive movement of let's just be friends and have this kid, versus these people that are actually married and have kids, and they start comparing and contrasting. It's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. And here's the best part of this movie. Megan Fox is in it. She has lines, and she doesn't ruin it. Yay! I'm so happy. I'm really happy because I was afraid when I saw her coming in. I'm like, oh no, here we go. But all she has to do is play a really hot chick, and she knows how to do that. So it worked out really well. I was happy. So again, I recommend this movie highly. You need to go see it. Anybody who's in their mid-30s or above and has had kids, go see this movie. If you're like in your 20s and you're having kids, you may not get the context yet because you're not quite there. But it is a fantastic movie. It's my favorite movie so far of the year. I realize we're only in March, so we got a long way to go, so let's not throw too much into that. But still, to me, it's the best movie of the year so far at this point in time. Really good movie. Go see it. If you come back next week, I'm going to be reviewing 21 Jump Street. That's right, 21 Jump Street, which is ironically getting all sorts of good reviews. So now I'm like, okay, this TV series I used to love growing up is now being made into yet another part of my childhood is being made into a movie. So I'll have to go see that. If you are a DVDer and you want to rent some movies this week, you've got a lot to choose from. If you want something for the kids, The Adventures of Tintin is out this week. If you want something for the adults, My Week with Marilyn and The Descendants. Both of them were up for Academy Awards. Both of them were out this week. This is going to be the time of the year where a lot of those Oscar movies are going to be out on DVD. So it's a really good time to rent movies if you just love to rent movies. You have no more excuses to see The Descendants and no more excuses not to see My Week with Marilyn. Both those are out on DVD. You need to go see them. Again, as always, if there's a movie you want me to critique, leave it in the comment box, and I'll be more than happy to do it. Until next week, I might see you at the movies.